Hello, and welcome to another episode of Outcast Development. And, well, I'm gonna guess you already know who it is. It's me, your host, Virgo Jake. Now look, today we actually have something quite important to you guys. I want to truly dedicate this one to the young men who are involved within the Outcast Nation. You've seen the thumbnail, you already know what it is, so I'll get into it. But, before we get to our special message and before we get to the lounge, my friend, it's time for you to grab a drink and meet me over there. Pick from anything from the cabinet. Grab a good seat, and I'll see you over there, my friend. Welcome to the lounge. Thanks for joining me. And, now that you poured yourself a drink, because you already know what it is, I gotta say, this is about my third time remaking this video, because I really want to get my point across. You've seen the thumbnail, and disregarding the cool artwork, you really must understand the message I'm trying to give to you. This one is fully directed towards, young men. I don't want to exclude the women because, again, the women are a big part of the Outcast Nation. Women are a part of what makes Outcast society a thing. But this one is really dedicated to the men. This to the young men, the young boys, the young lads. Let me explain it to you. Listen, there's no one coming to save you, and you need to break out of this illusion. I've seen it happen too many times. I've seen too many young men. And I'm a young man myself, so I'm giving out a lot of game. I've seen a lot of young men do stupid shit thinking somebody's going to save them, and it's complete nonsense. You have to stop it. And when I say someone's going to save them or some shit, oh man, sorry if you're hearing that, it's traffic. It's traffic where I am. So, outside the lounge, traffic outside of the lounge, it's actually crazy. Need to move the lounge to a much more secure place. Either way, when I say illusion, I mean this weird blinding of it. It's a weird thing. I've seen too many of you on some weird path believing, oh man, I can just do random nonsense. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. 16 years old, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. Yada yada yada, and then go get some bullshit degree you don't understand, or go start working in a friggin' store with no plan. Next thing you know, you're 6 years in, you have no friggin' clue what you're doing. Listen to me. There's nothing wrong with staying in a small-time position or going to school for now or whatever, but don't let that blind you from what the end goal really should be, getting yourself into a greater position. I've seen it too often. I've seen too many people waste their lives. And a lot of people who waste their lives are the same ones perpetuating this nonsense that allows younger people to waste their lives as well. You ever seen miserable old people? And yes, from the West Indies where I'm from, there's the term miserable, old and miserable. Now, the reason that term is coined is because there are a lot of people in their later years of their life, in their silver years, they are 50, 60, 70 years old, and they have nothing but bad things to say. They're always cursing, they're always young, always uncomfortable. Why are they always uncomfortable? Well, look at it like this. It's a bad stereotype to say all old people are miserable. Because as a person who's worked in retail and human interaction, I have met plenty an elderly person. And the ones that are miserable, not all of them are miserable. The ones that are miserable are the ones that have wasted their lives doing nonsense. They wasted their youth. They have a whole lot of regrets. They did stupid shit, and now they can't take it back. Those are the ones. Those are the ones that are old and miserable. Because I've met some of the happiest old people in my life. I've met old men and women that are 90 years old, 86 years old, 83 years old as hell, and they are so happy because they lived a fulfilled life. They lived a fulfilled life. They built something for themselves. They built themselves into a greater position, whether they're not rich or whether they are rich or not. Either way, they did something with their lives. They built themselves a great family. They found God. They kept themselves in great shape. There's a lot of things you can do, but you must live a fulfilling life, and you have to stop this. No one's gonna save you. At the end of your life, it's gonna be you and your decisions that you're gonna have to take accountability for. You and your decisions, you will have to take accountability for them. As such, you cannot walk around simply waiting for someone to come along and give you that helping hand. I think it was Chris Rock who said it, that prominent black man. Chris Rock who said it as a black man. He's never seen anybody help the guy on the highway who's broken down and he's just waving people down for help. But he's always seen somebody help the dude who's getting out of the car and pushing it himself. That's what you need, dude. Get out of the car and to push it yourself. People will come along and help you. You need to start working now. Don't just sit there and expect something to help you. Alright, man, nobody wants to help. That's why the dudes who get stuck on stranded islands, they get stuck on desert islands and they don't do anything. They just waste away and die. But there's dudes out there lighting fires every day. They're sending messages in the bottle. They're trying to help themselves, you know? So, yeah, I want you to break out of the illusion. No one's coming to save you. And with that, I'll leave you with a quote. The man who plants a seed for a tree he will never sit in the shade of understands the meaning of life. Stay on.